I mean, I actually like Cassie. I think she's pretty cool, and she's, gamer broad, cat broad, sleepy broad, horny broad, My Little Pony broad, baker broad, crazy broad, future broad. I don't want to go anywhere near that broad. Ginger broad, music broad, dumb broad, the dumbest broad. Fuck you! I actually like Luna. She's pretty cool. She's got a really cool backstory. Mecha broad, chakra broad, leg day broad. Can't access this broad. Can't access that broad. Shy quirky girl, ooh I'm quirky, I watch The Office broad. Dancing broad, food broad, dead broad, coffee broad, weather broad. I don't know if I need to censor that. Gymnast broad, hacker broad, teacher broad, past broad, maid broad, skater broad, saucy broad, flower broad, childhood friend broad, French broad, panda broad. Why is she here? We already have her. She's in the main cast broad. I listen to Linkin Park broad, basic broad, I'm like 12 years old broad, useless blacksmith broad, dead broad, dumb broad, stupid, useless, I hate her. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Why are you part of the story? Why were you brought in? What is your purpose? Broad. Incest broad. Dumb broad. Wait, you actually exist, broad. Why do you exist, broad? I only had 15 seconds of screen time, broad. PTSD, broad. I'm only here for plot, broad. I only exist for the plot, broad. I only exist for the plot, but I'm a child, broad. Oh, hey, she looks pretty cute. Wait a minute. I have AIDS. AIDS, broad. At the funeral, I admit that I get cured of my AIDS, broad. I still have a condition, broad.
I have a stick up my butt, broad.
K-poop, broad. Lamau dead, broad. What is this? What in God's great, what am I looking at, broad? Tall, broad. Pink, lolly, broad. How do I say your name? Sadistic, solid snake looking, Darth Maul acting broad. She's like 11 years old and has murderous intent beyond comprehension, broad. I use a trench knife to put my hair up, broad. Blonde beyond comprehension, broad. God, he's so cute. Do you even have a name, broad? I want to marry my master, broad. Purple broad. Other purple broad. Other purple broad. Other purple broad. Stupid lolly knight broads. We've took the complex, self-sufficient algorithm of Sword Art Online and we've turned it into a lolly. Broad. Wow, the first interesting villain? Let's ruin her by making her naked for half the arc. Broad.
I'm a really cool detective, broad. I'm like the second one to die, broad.
I am the first to be killed. Broad. I'm actually a boy. I'm a sadistic fucking serial killer. Broad. I like swimming. Broad. Who the fuck is this one?
I am not a man, I am female.
Broad. Dumb broad. I'm a lolly, but everyone treats me as if I'm not a lolly. But actually, age-wise, the oldest I can get is 9. That's literally actual fact. This guy literally is dating a 9-year-old. I'm fucking lolly. Chill as can be. Literal lolly. Plain and simple. Broad. Basic tsundere broad. She was in a bunny outfit once. Pog, let's go! Probably the best broad out of the bunch. Alcoholic broad. I have 2 appearances throughout the entire anime. Broad.
I exist as a painful reminder of Iru's past.
Broad. Dumb lolly broad. It may not look like it, but I'm going to strangle someone. Broad. Oh yeah, I existed for 2 seconds, broad.
Certified badass.
We are twins, and that's our only interesting personality trait. Broads.
My main attribute is having big breasts.
Broad.
I'm kind of a bitch, broad.
I'm a 9-year-old hacker, lolly. Broad. I am actually the best hacker, but for some reason I have hacker PTSD. Broad. I die in the first 2 seconds, and that is my sole purpose. Broad. I have no use, broad. I'm gonna fall over. I play the violin. Oh, I feel weak. I feel... Broad. broad. Childhood friend, broad.
Don't look at how fucked my hand is in this picture, broad.
It's me, Takashi's younger lolly sister, hell-bent on breaking your fingers!
Broad. Horn broad. Dumb broad. Dumb broad.
Lesbian, broad.
Horny broad.
I'm the red-headed tsundere lolly, 'cause every anime fucking needs one!
Broad.
I'm only here as an emotional crutch and a sexual stimulant for the viewer. Later on, I'm hair replacement, but I don't fit the bill because my boobs are not big enough.
Broad.
I am relevant for like 2 minutes.
Broad. Blue 02. Broad. Old broad.
I am the first child born naturally in centuries!
Broad.
I am a boring character, but don't worry, because Deku will improve my character arc, surely! Right? Right? Damn it.
Broad.
I am 15, and yet I am arguably the most sexualized character on this show.
Broad.
If I wasn't a hero, I would be a porn star.
Broad. I don't see a broad. Frog broad.
That's the face I have after I've busted a nut to Ari. I am sexualized quite often, so people don't forget me.
Broad.
I secrete questionable fluids from my body and use it as a weapon.
Broad. Basic blonde broad.
I'm like Umaraka, but I have bigger breasts.
Broad. T broad. Engineer broad.
Cleavage broad.
Psychopath broad. Hard-working single mother broad. Hot MILF mom. Furry broad. Other furry broad. Rest in peace furry broad. Asian broad. Lesbian broad. Dumb broad. Really good at fighting broad. Dumb broad. Hungry broad. Useless broad. Dumb broad. Oh hey, she's pretty cute. Wait a minute.
I have a dumb name.
Broad.
I kinda look like Dante's mom.
Broad. Lolly broad. Edgy broad. I only remembered you because I pronounced your name as Ari broad. Dumb broad. Dumb broad. Ho broad. Lolly tsundere broad. Piss off. Dumb broad. I don't even know how to say your name broad. Blue broad. Dragon broad. What's the point of her existing broad?
I'd like 2 minutes of screen time.
Broad. Everyone forgets that I existed broad. Dumb broad. Dumb broad. Dumb broad. I like her. Dumb broad. Bad shit crazy broad. Lamau, this dude's gay. I am so sorry your backstory exists broad. Terrorist broad. Big head broad. Dumb broad. I'm so sorry your backstory exists broad. Dumb but hey, at least she really good with a spear broad. Dumb broad. Mentally unstable broad. This picture pretty much sums up my character broad.
I'm gonna cool.